Who would believe that their own leaders will destroy so many people? History is replete with such information.
Hello, my family. Welcome again to the Prolific Word and welcome to for an exciting episode of my video. Right into today's video, guys, the man of God, Reverend Dr. Chris Oyakhylome, the SCDD, will be talking about a couple of things and mainly the deceits of the leaders of nations and what the Bible actually has to say concerning this. I won't waste your time any further, my people, but if this is your first time of coming across my channel, kindly click on the subscription button, turn on the notification bell to get more amazing and inspiring videos from me. Watch this video and I'll be right back.
Your next door neighbor could be the perpetrator of some heinous crime. Someone you know, someone you are acquainted with. Sometimes difficult. And that's why it's important for us to remember, firstly, the things that the Bible tells us. And secondly, history. History. The most popular of them, and that's because there's more than enough evidence of that evil, is the Holocaust. And then think about what happened in Rwanda years ago. The killings, and these were neighbors, the Hutsis and the Tutsis, people of the same country. Think of the murderous Pol Pot. What happened in Cambodia years ago. Who would believe that their own leaders will destroy so many people? History is replete with such information. And then, of course, Mao Zedong. With more than 45 million people were killed because of his policy of collectivization. Men have instituted different kinds of policies at different times that have led to the deaths of so many. But it's often difficult for people to consider that their leaders could actually do such things until it happens. But then it's too late. Then it's too late. The corruption in our world. And when we talk about corruption, I'm talking about those who lead to the deaths of others, the killings. And they're heartless. And Jesus talked about this. I'm going to read the words of Jesus to you. And wicked men often like to stigmatize those things that will help you discover the evil work that they do. For example, during the communion service Sunday, I was telling you about the stigmatization of conspiracy theory. Because they don't want you to think. They don't want you to think. They want you to use your mind. The ability to be suspicious is a positive thing. But they don't want you to think like that. They want you to trust the government. Ronald Reagan, the former president of the United States, said, the government is not your friend. Yeah, because there's no human being called government. Of course, I know a couple of people have named their children government. But that one may be your friend as an individual, but in reality, the government institution cannot be your friend because it's not an individual. It's not a person. It's not a person. It's a system. Let's read some of the words of Jesus to begin with. From St. Matthew's Gospel, chapter 24, we're reading from verse 1. I'm going to read the first 12 verses. And Jesus went out and departed from the temple. And his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Now, this chapter follows several things that Jesus had said to them in previous chapters. He'd been talking about when he would leave and the things that will happen and so on. And now they come to the temple. They show him the beauty of the temple. Herod had built this magnificent temple, and they conduct Jesus around it, his disciples, and then the master says to them, you see, son, not one stone will be left upon another that will not be brought down, this temple. In other words, this temple is going to be destroyed, and that very soon. So they asked him, they said, when shall these things be? He had been talking to them about leaving and that he'll come back. So they asked him 3 questions. Can you put that verse there again? And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? That's question number 1. Number 2, what shall be the sign of thy coming? Since you're leaving, how are we going to know when you're coming back? And question 3, and of the end of the age. It's translated word in Old King James translation. The end of the age. So they asked him 3 questions. Now Jesus begins to answer them in the 4th verse. And Jesus answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. Isn't that wonderful? The first thing he says to them, don't be deceived. Why? Because It's easy to get deceived. There's the potential of deception. And Jesus warns, he says, take heed that no man deceive you.
Trust you have been blessed and inspired from what you've heard so far from the man of God, Reverend Dr. Chris Oyakhylome. You know, if you have been following the man of God, Pastor Chris, you know that the man of God have been talking about this for a very, very long time. And this week is a very, very beautiful and inspiring week because it's your love war with the man of God, Reverend Dr. Chris Oyakhylome. And I will encourage you not to miss any section of your love war because every section will leave you inspired and blessed. So my family, thank you very much for being a part of today's video. If you have been blessed, go ahead and like this video, share this video everywhere, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I would love to hear your own opinion concerning today's video, and I would love to see you in my next video. Thank you.